Hello everybody and welcome back to the next Transformer Studio Series video. In this video we will be doing a review about Studio Series 86 Voyager class Hot Rod. Now before we start our review, I'm just going to tell you what this review is going to be about. In this review we're going to go over all of Hot Rod's features, some things that makes this figure even more worth than its price. We're going to compare him with some other Autobots and then after that we're going to do our transformation and detransformation, and then we're going to give my final thoughts about this figure. So first, let's get started by looking at some of his special features. Now, looking at Hot Rod, I believe this figure is one of the best Transformers Studio Series figures that we have ever gotten of Hot Rod, actually. And being the best Hot Rod figure and the best Transformers Studio Series figure, aside from Devastator, I believe this figure is way worth its price. The regular price is about approximately $30, but I believe you can find them at least $27.99 at Target, but I mean $26.99 at Target, but the regular price should be about $30. And what I mean that this figure is more than it's worth, because averagely a Voyager class figure is about 6 inches, and then with this little part up here just makes up 6 inches right there. And also, one other thing that I'm going to show you is that his hands actually do curve out and curve back in and open the palms of his hands. The palms of his hands open as like he's gonna grab something like the Matrix of Leadership, a blaster, or something else. So one other thing is that there are three parts of like that are inside his body that I do like. So first, let's start before we check that out, let's start with taking a look at some of the accessories on this figure. So first, let's just start to take a look at some of the accessories. Now, bringing in two of his blasters, we can see that that they are entirely not identical from each other. This one, it looks a little bit round with more points on it, looks more metally, and this one just looks like a streak that looks fast, has a little point at the top, and I believe this blaster is actually more accurate. At the bottom, they do have red little circular slots that do insert into his hands, which will demonstrate later in the review. The bottom of the blaster that is skinnier, it does have like a bunch of hollow gaps on the bottom, which is okay, but but I would have preferred if it didn't have any hollow gaps, but I'm pretty sure they're there for a reason. Also, they do have tabs. Both of them have 2 tabs on each side, one here and one here, and the other blaster is the exact same, which has 2 tabs on 2 sides. So I will show you in a bit how to attach them to his arms and how to attach them to his back. Taking a look at the next accessory is his buzzsaw. Now, I'm not so sure if he used his buzzsaw that much in the film. If anybody could clarify that up, tell me in the comment section down below. When he uses his buzzsaw, and I'm pretty sure he does use it to break down some kelp or something like that in the film. I'm not so sure. If somebody could clarify that up, that would be great. But I think this buzzsaw does look pretty amazing with all the lines that are on it. Does look like it's spinning and gives you the illusion that it's actually going to cut through something. Now, taking a look at what may be the best accessory out of all of them, the Matrix of Leadership. Now, the Matrix of Leadership, I did notice that it is transparent on the front and on the back, which I believe if you shine it on the light, it does allow it to glow a little bit, but I'm not so sure. The back is hollow and everything, and it is very detailed as how it does appear in the film. And I believe this same Matrix of Leadership is the same one we do get for Earthrise Optimus Prime, for the War of Cybertron Earthrise Optimus Prime. I believe it's the same Matrix, but I never really collected Earthrise that much, so I wouldn't really know. Now, taking a look at what may be one of the best accessories with it, and actually this figure is actually the first one that comes with it, which are blast effects. Now, I believe the blast effects are really nice and gives it the touch that brings this figure to life, like if he's fighting or something, or he's driving somewhere where it looks like a bunch of fire and everything. I think the blast effects really bring these figures to life. I really hope Hasbro does do more of these, and as is, I believe, being the first figure with blast effects, I think it's totally amazing what Hasbro has done with this figure. And taking a look at the final accessory, the Matrix of Leadership Blast Effect. Now, this blast effect is nice and all, as it goes and everything. Actually, it does tap into the Matrix of Leadership, so I do recommend, if you want it to be tabbed in, have the Matrix of Leadership standing like this. Make sure these 2 points on the top, right here and right here, are facing upward. And then these 3 streaks that are more aligned together, 1, 2, 3, are at the bottom, and these 3 streaks that are on the top or that are more separated are on the top of the matrix. So simply what you gotta do is just tab it inside right here, slide it in, and there. So it is just a choice to have the Matrix of Leadership connected to the blast effect. Personally, it looks nice and everything, and brings this figure to life, and it looks nice and amazing. But if you don't want to attach the Matrix of Leadership when posing Hot Rod, you could just leave the Matrix alone by itself. Personally, I would do both, but I would prefer more of the Matrix being alone than the blast effect. Although the blast effect does look cool and everything, I would prefer it without the blast effect. Okay, so now let's take a look at some other things about this figure that I really do like. So let's start off with his head. I believe that everything on his head is entirely detailed, really good. The mouth, the chin, and the nose and the eyes are really detailed, and everything looks amazing to this figure. The head sculpt is nice. I believe it's connected to a ball joint, and this figure is just amazing, and then it really makes you want to watch the 86 movie again. Now, one thing that I do like, it does come with this accessory. It's not his head, that I believe he uses in the film to scan the Autobot ship for Decepticons or something like that, but I'm not so sure of how it goes in the film. If somebody could clarify that up, that would be great. And now, just to show you how to make it show up, simply pop off this part of his helmet up like this. Simply pop it up, then get this little piece right here, tab it down, and there, and then tab this down, and there. I believe this looks amazing of how it looks like in this form. I believe this brings the character more to life than ever. Now, the fun doesn't end there. Actually, if you do separate his arms like this, it does reveal a little area where you can switch and rotate the hands around. And I believe this is a spark wielder that he does use to fix Cup in the Transformers movie. After the squid attack, I believe. But if somebody could clarify that up for me, that would be great. So you could just flip it from hands to the spark wielder in any direction you want, and then to reverse, you just put it back the same way you did. And then the fun doesn't end there at all. So you could do the same process to the other arm, flip it around, and it does reveal a small little post, a circular little tab, that you do get the buzzsaw right here, and it does have this little circle right here that you're gonna have to tab inside right here, and I think that looks nice of how it is. I don't think you could do it with this hand all that much, because I believe it is only for this hand. And what I meant, that the price of this figure is way less than it should be. Like, it's this figure should be more than the price it is because you don't really see these features in a studio series. You usually see them on a Masterpiece Transformer toy, or like the MP figures. Like, you mostly see it on those and not a studio series. So that is one of the reasons why the price should be like a little bit higher, but I really do love that Hasbro did put this as a Voyager class, and I think the big reason for it is also because of that these parts on the top actually are about 6.5 inches, around that height, and he does come with all the 7 accessories that I did show you right here. So without further ado, let's get to comparing. So let's first put Hot Rod over here, and then now let's bring over Studio Series 50 Hot Rod. The reason I am bringing over Studio Series 50 Hot Rod is because they are the exact same character, and I believe that in the next Transformers film that is coming out pretty soon, that the plot of the old Transformers movie will be the same as the new Transformers film, but a bit different, because the character Hot Rod did appear in The Last Night. This is the only Studio Series toy of Hot Rod we ever got, and just for a quick size comparison, we can see that Hot Rod is a bit smaller and his head barely makes it to the Autobot logo on this other Hot Rod figure. But I think that actually looks amazing of both their size and everything. And also because probably in the next Transformers film, Hot Rod may be the main character in the movie, then Optimus, then Bumblebee in the new Transformers film. So without further ado, let's compare him with some G1 Transformer toys. And now comparing him to Studio Series Autobot Cup, we can totally tell that there is a size difference between both of them. So aligning them up correctly, we can see that Cup's head and Hot Rod's head do meet together right there, but Hot Rod's little point area on the back is a bit larger though. I will do a review about Cup soon, and I will also do a review about Blur soon. I'm also going to compare Blur. We can see that Hot Rod is about the same size as Cup, and actually due to the fact that he's a little bit bigger and all the accessories he came with, I believe the price is worth it and everything. For Cup, the price was worth it as he is a deluxe class, only about 4-ish inches, I believe, 5 inches, I believe. I believe the scale, it scales perfectly between these two figures, as I believe Cup is actually one of the main Transformers in the '86 movie. Now bringing over Transformers Studio Series Autobot Blur. Now we can see a slighter size difference right here. We can see that Blur is about like nearly the same size as Hot Rod. If not, his head does overpass him right there. Oh, and I believe that if you have all the Autobots of the '86 of Wave 1, that would look great. And I really hope that they do keep releasing more '86 Autobots. And now for one final comparison, leader class Dinobot Grimlock with Autobot Wheelie. And I believe this just looks amazing of what Hasbro has done with both of these figures. As I believe these two figures are the most accurate Transformers Studio Series figures we have ever gotten so far. Of the G1 actually. And I believe that it does scale nicely between Grimlock's size and everything. Although I think Grimlock should have been a little bit bigger. I'm not so sure, but tell me in the comment section down below if he should have been bigger or smaller. But I believe that the size is marvelous. It's spectacular. Even if you separate Wheelie, although Wheelie can't stand, you can just kneel him down. Let's just put Grimlock to the side for now. Put Hot Rod right here, and then we can see Wheelie size around there. And I really do hope they do make an upgrade kit for Wheelie that'll give him new legs that do bend and everything. So this is the tallest way I could pose Wheelie so far, but I believe that goes nicely between both of these figures. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at some of his box art. And now taking a look at Hot Rod's box, we can totally tell that this figure actually resembles his box art. We can see that all the detail that is implied to the box art actually looks how the figure does look like. So without further ado, let's check out the box art. Right here we can see some of the backdrops and everything. Right here we can see a drawing of Hot Rod holding the matrix of leadership. We can also see Hot Rod's face right here with the number 8604 Voyager class figure. And then right here we can see the details of the box. And I personally believe that that the actual toy is better than what the prototype actually looks like. Taking a look at the car prototype, I think it's nice and everything. The toy prototype is okay and everything. I just feel like there is something different about both of these. I can't really tell. Maybe it's the color of the legs and the joints and everything between the actual figure and the actual figure and this first product production, I believe that it does, the actual figure now looks way better than this. Although I really would have hoped that the red color scheme on this would apply to the real figure and the orange as well, but and not this one. I think the body looks more accurate to the film more than the toy, but other than that, a great figure. He transforms in 99 steps from robot to a sports car mode. I'm not so sure if it's like a specific brand of sports car. If somebody could tell me down in the comments, please do tell me. Hot Rod's iconic scene is where Hot Rod lights the darkest hour in the depths of Unicron. Now, in the Transformers film, the 86 Transformers film, he defeated Galvatron and Unicron at the end of the film and everything, and became Rodimus Prime. His regular name was Hot Rod, but then he became Rodimus Prime. And now, taking a look at the final part of the box, we can see a full picture of Hot Rod holding the Matrix of Leadership, and I believe this just looks cool. At the top, we can see it says Transformers the movie. The Transformers the movie from the old classic movie. And at the bottom of the box, it tells you all the contents and everything. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the backdrop. And now, taking a look at the backdrop, I personally think that the backdrop is amazing and captures the entire movie moment when Hot Rod lights the darkest hour, defeats Galvatron and Unicron at the end of the film. And then for a quick memory, if you did see the Transformers movie, just for a quick scene, we can see Hot Rod holding the Matrix of Leadership right there, and I believe that this, no matter what, is the best look of a Transformers Studio Series figure of the 86 that we can absolutely get. I believe that all the color schemes and everything do look great, and whenever Studio Series Galvatron does get released, I really hope that it does come with the same backdrop. If not, it comes with a different backdrop, it's okay. But I really hope that they do release Galvatron so that you can make an iconic movie scene, and even a Unicron figure similar to the HasLab Unicron War for Cybertron figure that came out recently. I really hope they make a Unicron figure so that you can remake the entire movie moment. But you can make the entire movie moment with the Earth Roar for Cybertron Unicron, when with Hot Rod and Galvatron of the War for Cybertron, but I would have preferred more of a Studio Series figure more than a War for Cybertron figure for the G1 Transformers. Just taking a look at Hot Rod in this pose, I believe it looks better than any other Hot Rod toy ever. And I believe that another Hot Rod toy that was actually a bit bigger, a Masterpiece figure, I believe a little bit bigger, does not look that accurate, and I believe this toy is the most accurate Hot Rod we can get. And now, without further ado, let's take a look now let's transform Hot Rod. But right before we transform Hot Rod, I am going to show you how to attach the Matrix of Leadership and all the accessories toward his back so that you can make room. So the first thing you're gonna have to do is get Hot Rod. You can pose him in this form. I personally think this form is easier. He does have some butterfly joints, I believe, right here, and then you just fold them out like that. Make sure that the shoulders do look like they're going inside his body, and then have him like this. Open the palms of his hands, I believe. You open the palms of his hands, and then after that, you can also do it like this, like however you and you could pose this figure to your sole desire, and then after that, get the Matrix of Leadership. Then pop it in through his thumbs right here. You're just gonna pop it in right there, and then just do the same process to the other one. And I believe that this, no matter what, looks like the best Hot Rod toy we can ever get. And although he never used the I think it's called a visor in the film, where the thing that goes over his eyes, I think it looks cooler like this more than without the thing. So personally, I would do it like that. And I know many collectors would pose their figure like this, and I've heard in other reviews that someone else said that. And personally, yes, I would put my figure more like this. But the fun doesn't end there. We can add the Matrix of Leadership blast effect, which looks pretty cool. We just have to tab it inside right there. just tab it in, push in the fingers again, because they do open again. Just keep making sure that the thumbs are in place and everything. And also, speaking of the Matrix of Leadership, I do hope if we do get more Studio Series figures, but based off the live action movies, that whenever The Fallen gets released, he does include the Matrix of Leadership. But I'm sure it's gonna look way different than this, because in the film, from the cartoon film to the actual film, it looked different. So then, so now back to the transformation. You're just gonna have to pop him his thumbs like this. Make sure that they hold it, and then there. I believe that this looks spectacular. And to store all the other accessories, so let's start first with his blasters. So first thing you're gonna have to do is just turn your figure all the way around, and then I do recommend, if you have no spot to put your blasters, they, like I said earlier in the review, that they do have tabs that are gonna store in. So just simply pop them in. Simply pop it in. Do the same process to the other one. Just pop it in there, peg it inside, and then with this little thing, it does have two tabs on both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you put it at. You can put it like this, and then there you have his weapon accessory stored in the back. And now, also one thing to even make the whole scene where he does like the Darkest Hour in Transformers the movie, you can attach these like blast effects onto his arms right here. They do have circular tabs and circular slots that do connect to each other. Then you're just gonna do the same process to the other side. And I believe that it does look amazing of how both of these figures do look like together. Both of these accessories look like together. And then one thing I did have is that the Matrix of Leadership did keep popping off, but no worries, you could just keep popping it back on and everything. Just keep pushing it inside and everything. Do it in the way you're supposed to do, and I believe that this looks more iconic than ever. I think personally, I believe this Hot Rod figure is the best Hot Rod figure we can ever get. I believe many collectors, such as myself, will have this figure in more of this position in their collection. Instead of Hot Rod's battle ready position, I prefer this position more than the other position. Now, without further ado, let's get started on the transformation. So now let's get started on the transformation. So the first thing you're gonna have to do, just bring the figure toward you. Simply untab this area right here, flip it all the way around as I am showing you right now. Then after that, flip it this way and make sure that it's just like this. Make sure that it looks like this. After that, I recommend flipping his whole waist like that, so it could be an easier transformation. After that, untab this. Untab these parts, which are the back wheels right here. Untab them, and then make sure his the sole of his foot goes inside his leg right there. And then after that, you're gonna have to make sure that that his whole foot does go inside, and it looks like this. After that, you're gonna do the same process to this side. Then untab it right here. Push this in, and then after that, what you're gonna have to do, a crucial step, is that there are two joints right here, one for the knee and one for this part of the foot. So I think you're supposed to flip it all the way out like that, and then flip it all the way out like that, and then simply pop this down like that, and there you have Hot Rod's feet already. And then after that, you're just gonna have to tab these little pieces inside. Do the same process to the other side. After that, everything's nice and everything. After that, get the bottom of the car mode, tab it in right here. There are some tabs on the back that you are gonna peg inside with the legs, and I think that looks spectacular. That looks like how he does in the film. After that, you're gonna have to get Hot Rod's body like this. The whole the windshield part, flip that out. Then after that, make sure that this piece, I believe, does flip out like that. Then after that, flip this thing all the way around. Then get his head. Make sure that it turns all the way this way. Then after that, you're gonna have to make sure that the arms do go like this, and then make sure that this part does tab down and this does tab in. Now we can see more or less of how his car mode is gonna be. Now we're not done yet, so the first thing you're gonna have to do also is make sure that these parts do fold out like that, and then make sure that this folds out like this. And then after that, you're just gonna push it down, and there is a little slot on the arm, if you do see, and a little tab right here on the body. So you're just gonna push that in right here, and then push it in right here. So just pop that in right there and there. And I believe there is a molding error on mine where the tab in the middle is kind of chipped off a little bit. But that's okay. It is still transformable. So you're just gonna, and then after that, just do the process to the same side. Bring this down. Tab that inside. Make sure that these parts tab in. And I believe, like I showed you, that there is a molding error with mine. I believe that that's fixable, and it's okay. It's still transform. It can still transform. After that, make sure all the things are tabbed in. After that, get this little part of the hood. Fold it out, get the car part out like this, do that on the same side, and then fold his hood back on the top right here. So just fold it out right there, and personally I believe the figure just looks so complete and so good. So just keep tabbing all the stuff into place and everything. Just make sure everything's in place and everything's clicked and secured, everything, so that it could be complete. Just keep tabbing everything and make sure everything's secure. So just push everything inside and everything so that it can tab in securely and look complete. And there you have Hot Rod fully transformed into his car mode. And so what I believe that his car mode looks excellent, recaptures every moment of the film, and even the accessories that we got, the buzzsaw, the blast accessories, you can attach them here on the hood of his car or on the top. I prefer the top because it does look like he is charging into battle, shooting at multiple Decepticons. But if you want to put on the hood, it's okay. Or no weapon accessories on it at all. The Matrix of Leadership cannot attach. But one thing that you do have to attach are these pieces. And I'll show you right now how to attach them. Okay, so what the first thing you're going to have to do is, you're going to notice that the blast effects do have two circular tabs. One that is more out and one that is more in. Now at the back of the car mode, we do see that that on the smoke parts, where the smoke comes out and everything, and the fire and everything, there is one that's more out and one that's more in. So simply put the one that's more out of the blast effect on the one that's and the one that's more out and the one that's more in, and the one that's more in on the one that's more out. Make sure that the blast effect does look like this. And then you're gonna have to do the same process to the other side. And personally, I think that looks amazing. And you can also make it look like Hot Rod is blazing through Unicron like super fast. That the fire leaves a streak, and then at a certain angle, it does look pretty cool that the fire is like that. And also, one other thing about the Matrix of Leadership, I do believe that Hot Rod does have the touch and the power to hold the Matrix of Leadership. And I believe that there was a song at the end of the movie that literally said those words, I believe, at the end of the movie. And personally, I think Hot Rod does have all the touch and all the power to hold the Matrix of Leadership. So, and without further ado, let's tab into his weapons. So one thing you're gonna have to do is get the two tabs right here and just plop them in here. That's one way you could have the weapons tabbed in right here. Or you could also put them on these two little slots right here. And just tab them inside right there. And personally, I think that's okay, but I would prefer if they were more on the top right here. Now without further ado, let's get to the untransformation process. So without further ado, you're going to have to do the same thing we did, but in reverse. So simply make sure that this thing untabs at the top right here. Make sure that these two little tabs right here, these two little flaps do flap in. Then put that back there. Also, you're gonna have to lift the arms like this. Make sure that they do untab from right there. So simply what you're gonna have to do, as they are tabbed in right here, is put them down and take them back up. Then after that, flip this whole piece right here over like that and there. And then after that, there is this circular slot with this circular tab right there. Just tab it in right there. After that, do the same process to the other side. Just gonna have to take off this little joint, like bend this joint right here, and then just plop it inside right there. And after that, you're gonna have to unattach this part right here, which was the back where the legs were and everything. So just unattach it. And I do recommend just leaving it alone currently right now, so that it won't be a bother. And after that, you can take out these red parts right here. Fold out his foot like that. Make sure that the foot is folded out like that. Fold out his full foot and the leg and everything. Fold the arms, the wheels back in. Then they do tab in right here, which is actually one problem with my hot rod figure, that it did not want to tab in, but it is okay. So do the same process right here. Make these legs straight. Fold this pieces in. Just keep folding them inside, so that this figure can be complete and be the best figure in your collection. So if you are into collecting as I am, you would totally prefer this hot rod figure more than the World War II hot rod figure that we did get last year. That we did get in, I believe, in the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. Okay, so I prefer this figure more than that figure of hot rod. So what you're gonna have to do also right here to make sure that the car mode is good is just simply flip this around right here. Just flip it around. Then make sure that this piece does tab in and everything. Then fold that inside and make sure it tabs and everything. Make sure that folds out like that. And personally, I think Hot Rod does look cool in more of his robot form than his car form. And after that, you're gonna have to fold this the way around and tab it in just as we did before. And now I believe you have mastered Hot Rod. And personally, I believe this figure is the best figure that we can get. And now bringing over our other Autobots, I believe that this whole scene does look better than does look the best. Like, if you do have all the Autobots, like including Earthrise, some Earthrise Autobots, I believe you can recreate the classic moment. The what's it called? The movie cover, I believe. If you do have some Earthrise Autobots, you can recreate the movie cover or something like that, or you can just showcase all your Autobots like this. And unfortunately, at the moment, I do not have Jazz or Scourge. But if I did, I would show them, and I'll do a ranking video of all the 86 Transformers pretty soon, and I will show you who's my favorite and who's my least favorite. I'll just give you a spoiler of who's my favorite this review. Okay, so without further ado, that practically concludes our review of Hot Rod, and I really hope you enjoyed this review and everything. Personally, I do love this figure. I mean, this Hot Rod figure has got the touch and he has got the power to hold the matrix of leadership. Now, without further ado, this concludes our video. So sad to see you guys go, but I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, share this video with your friends and everything, and I will see you at our next Transformers Studio Series video. Adios.